Hey everybody, Michael Jeffries here. And I thought today we would talk about using the intuition to make your decisions rather than the mind. Yeah, let's get into this. Because I've been using my intuition for, as far as I know, my whole life. I just didn't realize that it was available 24/7, and I didn't realize that it was way, way, way more powerful than the mind. Not only is intuition way, way, way more powerful than the mind, more accurate than the mind, it's also, unlike the mind, your intuition is not reactive. The mind is. So right there is something you can notice. If you're feeling into a decision and you're stressed about it, having a hard time, figuring out what to do, that's a pretty big clue that you're in the mind. And if you notice that, no problem. You just get quiet. Because quiet or silence is where the intuition lives, so to say. It's always here. It never goes anywhere. But if we don't know it, if we don't have it available to us, basically, right? If you don't know you have something, it's not available to you. So it's just being aware of something that's ever present. And another thing you can notice about the intuition is that it knows without knowing how it knows. It doesn't have a big story attached to it. And that's another sign you can tell that you're in the mind. If you're hearing story, you're in the mind. Because intuition is silent. It's energetic. It's a feeling. Now, there are some reasons, I believe, why most of us are not in touch with our intuition, starting with the programming that we get from the time we're first born. And you're programmed to use your mind. You're taught how to use your mind. You're taught how to depend on your mind for your survival. And because we're so glued to the mind that we don't notice there's something else here. Innocently. And if we don't notice it, we're just naturally going to keep going to our mind. And, can often be confusing and, or worse, downright aggressive abuse, feeling guilty if you want to say no, but thinking you should go because it's the right thing to do. Another thing is we're not used to being quiet and going inside, because that requires that you learn to trust yourself. It's no longer believing that daddy or authority or somebody outside you knows best for you. You know what's best for you, but not the mind, because the mind is programmed. It thinks in terms of survival, so everything is black and white to the mind. And it figures everything out by making pros and cons. If I go toward that, will it hurt me? Or should I move away from it? It's very animalistic, and it's all about survival with the mind. And that's why it's often stressful when you're lost in thoughts, because it can often feel like a decision is life and death. So this is what happened to me. One day, like I said, I've always had intuition, I feel, but I didn't know that it was something you could actually use, like a tool. Never occurred to me until one day I had a decision to make. I noticed my mind was jumping all over the place, and I just didn't know the right thing to do. So I got quiet and I felt into it. And when I got quiet and felt into it, I know, I wasn't thinking. It was like feeling into something, like if you feel your breath or your chest rising, that's not a thinking. You're checking in to see or to feel the chest going up and noticing your breathing. It doesn't require any thinking. So it's the same with intuition. So the way it works for me is I felt into my decision, and within 20 seconds, it became obvious what I wanted to do. And the way it sort of told me that when I got quiet is the energy of whatever it was I was thinking about. So let's say it's going to a party, and let's say you haven't seen the people in a long time, so you're not sure you really want to go to this party. But also, I don't want to hurt their feelings or blah, blah, blah. Okay. So you get quiet and you feel into it silently. Just feel the party and you being there. And what came up for me was what I would call an orange light. I was conflicted. I didn't know whether I should go, but I didn't know that I for sure didn't want to go. So I did nothing at that moment. And God, I'm just not sure. And I just sat there. I could see I still wasn't settled. And it felt like an orange light. Like when you come up to a traffic signal and it's orange, it doesn't mean, green is go, and it doesn't mean red is stop. It's sort of like prepare to stop, but it's sort of ambiguous. So oftentimes when I'll feel into something and it comes up orange, it just means do nothing. You don't have enough information. At least that's how it's taken here. And then I forget about it because I go, well, okay, I don't have enough information. I don't, nothing to be done. Great. Now, as you're quiet and you're being present with something, and again, you don't know how you feel. So it's like you kind of come in like a blank slate and just energetically be present with whatever the decision is, feel into it wordlessly and let it tell you. And there's like a burst of energy. So if it's everything in my body lights up when I want to do it. It's like, yes. It's just like really excites, like kind of like a kid on Christmas morning. You're like, you can't wait to do it, whatever it is. So when I feel into something and something here gets excited, it's what I call a green light. It's like, yeah, all systems go. Let's do this. And then, of course, there's the opposite, where you can get quiet and present and feel into it. And like everything in my body will go, oh, hell no. No, I did not want to do this. Like it's very clear. Like it's just no. And whether it's a red light or a green light or a yellow light, the fact that I take the time to genuinely feel into it it's so, I can't even just, because there's no guilt. You took the time to actually see how you feel, so if it's, in this one particular case, I ended up not going to this party, and it's just how I felt. It was being honest with my feelings. And you don't have any remorse or guilt about that when you're sincere and genuine with your own feelings. You don't. So yeah, I would encourage you to give this a try, and see if you like it. If dropping from your mind into your heart, from your head to your heart, and into silence, and feeling into the decision, and then innately, sort of say, trusting whatever decision comes up, it's perfect, effortless, and it's not you doing it.